Chapter 2. The Hidden Prince. Achilles grew older, but not in the way boys grow older. There was no gradual softness to him, no slow easing into adulthood. It was more like watching something sharpen itself over time, becoming thinner at the edge until even touch felt dangerous. By the time he could stand taller than most men, the world around him no longer treated him like something human. It treated him like a question. What happens if something cannot be stopped? And somewhere far from Chiron's mountains, that question reached the ears of kings. The war was coming. It always was. It began with a woman. Helen was taken from Greece by Paris, and in that act, whether love, theft, or fate, pretending to be desire, the world tilted. Kings gathered. Oaths were remembered. Armies were called from stone cities and quiet shores. This became the Trojan War. But there was one problem no council could solve. Achilles was not there, and without him, victory was uncertain. With him, it was something worse. Thetis knew exactly what that meant, so she hid him, not in exile, not in chains, but in plain sight. On the island of Skyros, Achilles was dressed in soft clothing. Placed among the daughters of King Lycomedes, his identity dissolved into quiet routine. A life designed not to erase him, but to prevent the world from recognizing him. And for a time, it worked. But Achilles never truly belonged to disguise. He observed everything, not as someone adapting, but as something waiting. Even in silence, he felt wrong for the world he was placed inside, like a blade left in silk. Then came Odysseus. Odysseus did not arrive with force. He arrived with understanding. He did not search for Achilles directly. He searched for contradiction, for the place where behavior and identity failed to align. He brought gifts to the court of Lycomedes. Silks, jewelry, objects meant to draw attention toward comfort, and among them, hidden deliberately, were weapons. Steel placed among beauty, not to tempt, but to reveal. The court gathered. At first, it was simple curiosity, then comfort, then distraction. Most reached for what matched the world they thought they were in. But Odysseus was not watching the crowd. He was watching what did not fully belong to it. The hesitation that was too precise, the stillness that did not soften, the presence that did not adjust. Achilles stood among them, perfectly still, not hidden well, hidden socially. A man shaped into background rather than absence. Then the weapons were revealed more clearly, metal catching light differently than anything else in the room, and the air changed, not outwardly, but in recognition. Achilles did not move immediately. That mattered more than movement, because most people respond to temptation. He responded to recognition. Then he stepped forward, not quickly, not dramatically, directly, toward the steel. The moment his hand closed around it, the disguise stopped being meaningful, not broken, resolved. As if something that had been paused simply resumed its correct form. Silence followed, not shock, confirmation. Odysseus exhaled once, not as a man who succeeded, as a man who confirmed something inevitable. "There you are," he said. Achilles looked at him, not surprised, not defensive, as if the world had finally stopped misnaming him. "You were looking for me," Achilles said. "Yes. And now you've found me." A pause. Then Odysseus said, "The war cannot wait for what it already depends on." Achilles answered without hesitation, "Then it will not wait." That night, Skyros no longer felt like concealment. It felt like a boundary that had been crossed without resistance. At the shore, ships waited beyond the horizon, not yet arriving, but no longer avoidable. Achilles stood alone for a long time, looking at the sea. Not as exile, not as hidden son, but as something that had been found and was no longer allowed to remain unfinished.